And coming up on OU Nightly, drought-busting rain comes to Oklahoma. Hillary Clinton is grilled about Benghazi, and already pressure to pony up for education. OU Nightly starts now. And it didn't take long for the penny sales tax for education initiative to finally get rolling.
The new sales tax would raise $615 million strictly for public schools and higher education. The front page of the state's largest newspaper chronicled the beginning of the long campaign to gather 123,000 signatures to bring the issue to a vote. Just yesterday, OU President David Boren stood with a group of educators, business people, and civic leaders to launch the petition drive.
Oklahomans band together to help each other. We're a generous people. We reach out to help those people who need it most. And today, our children cry out for our help.
With us today, someone who has long...
The group supporting the tax immediately took the offensive, purchasing this ad on page 5 of today's Oklahoman. It detailed how the money would be used for raising teacher salaries, public schools, and higher education. None of the money will be used for administrative expenses. And the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education say they're concerned about safety on Oklahoma's college campuses. Roger Webb, the chairman of Campus Safety, claims the safety of Oklahoma's students is a low priority. He says the two challenges that face campus safety are funding and student services. This year alone, there have been 52 shootings at American schools, 23 of those on college campuses. And you might have noticed something different about the day today. Finally, some rain.
Yes, it's raining. I kind of enjoyed it a little bit, seeing some of that rain coming through. But
right, and so far we've had about 3/4 of an inch of rain. So good for plants, good for everything.
Yeah, and we haven't seen rain in a while, so it's been really exciting to see that come back.
Right, and Sawyer's standing by to tell us more about that. Sawyer?
Yeah, that's right, guys. So this will be the 90th day without an inch of rain that we've seen, but that will change going into tomorrow. Now, looking at our radar outside, you can see all that rain moving through our area. That's due to a low pressure system up in Colorado that it will be moving out of the area, but this rain will last through the night. Now, going on into our current temps, you can see where that rain has already made its way. 64 degrees in Norman and Oklahoma City with 80s off to our east, and that will change as the rain goes into their area. Now, right now we do have some flash flood watches in effect for Oklahoma City and Norman, so do be aware if you are in a low-lying area. And then coming up in weather, I'll tell you, we're going to have lots of rain, your game day forecast, and these below-average temps. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Sawyer. And a new study shows the rise in Oklahoma earthquakes is likely the result from industrial activities. The U.S. Geological Survey concludes that oil and gas production has contributed the most. In addition, the injection of chemical-laced wastewater into the earth, also known as fracking, has forced millions of gallons of water and sand into the ground.
Oklahoma lawmakers already know that tax collections are down and government cutbacks are just around the corner. But they're looking for ways to save money by becoming more efficient. One way might be by recovering money lost through pass-through funding. That's when state agencies receive money for a specific program, but some of it gets diverted to other pet projects as the money passes through the agency.
And OU Nightly's Hunter McKee, he's standing by in the news center. Hunter, Hillary Clinton and Benghazi. She's been giving her testimony for over 6 hours now.
BJ, and that's right, and some experts are saying she might talk for another 3 or 4 hours. Clinton is under extreme fire from the special investigative panel hearing over the Benghazi attack. The House Select Committee is investigating the 2012 terrorism attack in Libya. The Republican committee chairman is trying to find inconsistencies in Clinton's congressional original testimony on the attack.
Had unfettered access to you, Madam Secretary?
And U.S. troops rescued 70 hostages from their ISIS captors in Iraq, but one of the special operations soldiers was killed, the first combat death in Iraq since 2011. The special ops soldiers killed more than 20 ISIS fighters and captured 6. And Republican president candidate Ben Carson is in Tulsa today signing his new book, A More Perfect Union. Hundreds of Oklahomans lined up to meet with Carson. And the latest national poll, Carson has moved ahead of Donald Trump and the race for the GOP nomination. That's what's happening around the world. Ashley, back to you.
Thank you, Hunter. An update on the investigation into recent execution drug mix-ups. The Oklahoma Corrections Department director testified yesterday for hours before a state grand jury, as did Governor Mary Fallon's general counsel. Attorney General Scott Pruitt arranged for the appearance after the wrong deadly drug was used in a January execution, and then almost used again in September.
Oklahoma's growing prison population continues to be a problem. Some lawmakers believe increasing the use of private prisons and computer technology will help. Oklahoma prisons could receive 800 more inmates by the end of June. The Department of Corrections, however, says it doesn't have the funding for a private prison contract. And still ahead on OU Nightly, they say dogs are a man's best friend. Well, they might also be good for your health.
Plus, a new character is coming to an all-time favorite childhood show.
And welcome back. Aaliyah Covington joins us in the studio with Health Beat. And Aaliyah, another study released urging pregnant women again to stay away from alcohol.
Bijan, we've heard this time and time again, but a major medical group is finally putting their foot down on the issue. The American Academy of Pediatrics urges expecting mothers to stay away from alcohol. The group says prenatal exposure to alcohol is the leading preventable cause of birth defects. Alcohol during pregnancy increases a baby's risk of having trouble with hearing and vision, as well as heart problems. Doctors say that every pregnant mother reacts differently to alcohol, but the safest thing is to not drink. Oklahoma joined 4 other states in helping child care programs foster healthy lifestyles in young children. The Oklahoma Department of Health will implement the plan in various counties, which helps improve menus and increase playtime in child care programs. Other participating states include Louisiana, Massachusetts, Maine, and Virginia. And a new report suggests a Mediterranean diet can make you feel 5 years younger. Researchers observed the brains of 674 elderly people and asked them to fill out a survey about what they ate in the past year. The group that ate more Mediterranean food had heavier brains with more gray and white matter. A Mediterranean diet involves eating mostly plant-based meals. And finally, today in Health Beat, is your health going to the dogs? OU Nightly Cindy Highgard shows us how that might actually be a good thing.
Playing with your dog may not just be fun. It could extend your life. Studies show playing with dogs can lower your blood pressure, slow your heart rate, and even relax tense muscles.
It is a stress reliever because I know that my dog is happy, so that makes me happy.
Taking your dog to a dog park, like the one at Griffin Community Park, can add the health benefits of being outdoors. These include increased vitamin D intake, improved mood, and a strengthened immune system. It might even encourage you to exercise with your dog.
I do see a lot of people actually come run with the dogs. There are a lot of trails behind there and stuff. You can do a lot.
I mostly
But
just sit here.
we could get exercise if we wanted to.
They have a soccer ball and
Yeah.
they're out there kicking it with the dogs.
Our furry friends benefit from dog parks as well. Puppies in particular are typically open to socialization, and it can make them more comfortable in crowds as an adult.
The social thing does help.
Yes.
She was very scared like a month ago, now she's not. Stuff like that.
So as you can see, it's actually probably good for both your dog and you to come out, get some fresh air, and hang out with some friends. This is Cindy Higer, OU Nightly.
Well, that's cute to see. It's nice to see you walking your dog and getting some health benefits as well.
Yeah, Sydney was having a great time.
Yeah, I'm so jealous.
Thanks, Aaliyah. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
The West Nile virus continues its assault on Oklahomans. This time, it's Barry Switzer's son that could be fighting the disease. Testing on Doug Switzer is inconclusive, but doctors suspect West Nile virus is causing his illness. In the meantime, his father is visiting him daily.
And the Oklahoma Lottery Commission has a warning for Oklahomans about a new scam on Facebook. The post allows users to click a link which will take them to a different website that claims the Powerball is giving away a $1 million jackpot. Officials say there's also a letter circulating with a fraudulent message from the Multi-State Lottery Association offering prizes of $2.5 million. So if you plan on winning big, just be sure to protect yourself from this type of fraud.
New York restaurant owner Danny Meyer recently announced the elimination of tips at all of his restaurants. OU Nightly's Courtney Boggs spent the day on Campus Corner to see what local eateries think about this idea.
Many students in college towns turn to food service to help pay the bills. If a policy like Meyer's took effect in Norman, it would leave many student servers asking, what does this mean for my bank account?
This is how we live, this is how we make money.
Minimum wage for most servers in Oklahoma is $2.13, with tips making up the rest of their salary. Meyer says the goal behind his idea is to raise wages and increase benefits for his employees. But some servers in Norman feel that they have earned the opportunity to keep their tips.
I would prefer just going based off of tips instead of hourly, honestly, because if I have good clientele, then I can work my way and I can upsell anything to make it, worth their experience and worth their money.
On the other side, managers seem to be more open to the idea.
And I'd like to explore and see what the real idea behind it is. The real reasoning for doing it, is it to try to up the wages for the individuals, maybe try to give them a more consistent payroll. Tips sometimes can be up and down.
A policy like Meyer's may bring more consistent salaries to restaurant employees, but it may also bring higher food prices for consumers. As far as tips in Norman goes, don't expect to see them disappear anytime soon. Courtney Boggs, OU Nightly.
Meyer's no-tip policy will begin in New York during November. Still ahead on OU Nightly, one Back to the Future prediction did not come true. We'll have a look at what team is heading to the World Series.
And it's still raining out there, and rain is still to come. Sawyer, what do you have for us?
That's right, guys. It's raining outside, and that's going to continue through the night. I'll have your forecast right after this. Welcome back to OU Nightly, and now looking at our live shot outside, the story is rain across the entire area right now that will continue on in the overnight hours. Now go ahead and looking at our predictor, we'll tell you why this rain is going to stay into our area. There's a low pressure system off to our north into Colorado, and Colorado, Kansas, and Nebraska that is slowly making its way off to the northeast. There it is right there. That will make its way off to the northeast, moving this rain out of our state. Now at 10 p.m. tonight, you can see that we are looking at 66 degrees here in Oklahoma City, 77 in Tulsa, where they're not expected to get as much rain as here in Oklahoma City. Now looking at our forecast, you can see that this is right around our time right now, 4:30. You can see that the rain here in Oklahoma City, this will stay around through the 10 o'clock hour, and then this will move on off to the east with that system right around tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Now looking at our total preset for the entire storm, this is for tomorrow at 5 p.m. 5 inches up here in Enid, and it says right here that Norman we have 0.7 inch expected. Actually, currently we are over that mark, so this model is still messing with it a little bit. I expect us to see anywhere between 1 and 2 inches here in Norman, and then 1 to 3 inches up in Oklahoma City. But overall, as much rain is coming down and as quick as it's coming down, you need to be prepared for flash floods if you are in a low-lying area, because we do have flash flood watches in effect for our area until tomorrow. Now looking at our 7-day forecast, you can see 76 for Thursday and Friday, a 100% chance of rain because it is outside right now, a 40% chance for tomorrow, 69 on Saturday and Sunday. Now for game day on Saturday, we may see a few showers here or there. I've got it at a 30% chance. I would actually probably bump that down to a 20% chance right around game time. Cloud cover will be in the area for a little bit, but as we go on through game time, that will move out of our area. 20% chance on Sunday, 69 degrees, and then Monday and Tuesday, 70 degrees as well. Those clouds will stick around the area, 30% chance on Tuesday that we see a few showers here or there. And then as we go into Wednesday, the clouds do stick around with us, 63 degrees, and then 60s and 50s for our lows overnight. So guys, overall it's looking good. We need this rain here to help out with the drought, and it is going to do just that.
Right. Thank you, Sawyer.
You're welcome.
And it's homecoming weekend in Oklahoma. Blakely Durham is standing by with the big game.
Thanks, BJ. And big homecoming game, like you said, for the Sooners this weekend. And OU legend Joe Washington will be at the game. Find out what he'll be doing beforehand for the fans. Sports is straight ahead. Welcome back. I'm Blakely Durham. It's homecoming week, and the Sooners will cap the festivities by hosting Texas Tech on Saturday afternoon at OU Memorial Stadium. For quarterback Baker Mayfield, it's especially big. His high-profile transfer from Tech to OU is well documented, and Mayfield has looked just fine in a Sooners uniform. He has thrilled OU fans with his scrambling and big plays, including this Heisman-type moment against Tulsa earlier in the season. When Baker left Lubbock for Norman, he knew that the in-conference switch meant he would face his old team every year.
It's something that at the time you don't really think about, but then after you deal with it, I mean, yeah, obviously, and had to realize that it's in conference and I play them every year. So, I mean, it'll be good to get out there and have another conference game at home. I've matured as a player. My decision making's a lot better. I mean, that comes with maturity and age and experience. Game experience always changes a quarterback with your decision making, and I feel like I've majorly improved as like that situation. So, I mean, it's been almost 2 years now. So. It's been a long time, and I've matured. I can't treat it any differently. I mean, yeah, obviously I've had a past and a history with them, but I mean, I can't treat it any differently. I just got to go in and practice like it's a normal one. It's human nature and try and get revenge. I mean, that's just how everybody works, but I got to focus on doing my job, and my job only, and that's going out and executing my stuff and helping our team win, and that's what I'll be focused on this week.
What's the biggest difference between living in Norman and living in Lubbock?
Oh, gosh. Okay, well, Lubbock's a little more flat, and there's not as much green, and it smells a little more like manure.
All right. Another homecoming treat this year is a chance for the Sooner fans to meet OU legend Joe Washington. The former All-American running back will be at the stadium bookstore before the game, signing copies of his book, The 7 Secrets of the Silver Shoes. Washington will be there for OU fans from 12:30 until 2 o'clock. And students, listen up. Joe tells OU Nightly that he'll be there early to sign autographs for students only so you can beat the rush. The volleyball team was swept last night against a tough number 7 Kansas team. The Sooners so far have struggled in conference play, what will hopefully bounce back Saturday against West Virginia. And well, Back to the Future was wrong, folks. The Cubs are officially out of the playoffs after being swept by the New York Mets. The Mets hit back-to-back homers in the first inning, taking an early 4-0 lead. And then there was Daniel Murphy with his 6th straight postseason game home run. For a guy who just broke the record for the most consecutive straight homers in the postseason, Murphy seemed pretty humble about it.
I would hope I would have took it, and then when I hit it, I thought, oh my goodness. And then Dexter went after it. I thought he was going to catch it, and then the netting caught it. I can't explain it.
A Kansas City Royal fan built a throne decorated in the team's colors and logo. Tim Pruden built the chair for fun, he said, and it's certainly built for royalty. Pruden and his wife are even considering putting a big screen outside so they can watch the Royals in Game 6 tomorrow night from the chair.
Thanks, Blakely. And the pride of Oklahoma is going international. While new uniforms were being made over the summer, one student found a new home for the old ones. Darius Aruhu is a Ugandan native. This year when he traveled home, he created the Community Marching Band. Now the Uganda Community Marching Band will proudly be wearing the crimson and cream during their performances. And still to come on OU Nightly, we'll have another look at the evening planner.
Sesame Street adds more diversity. We'll tell you more about the new character when we come back.
Today is Monster Day!
I'm Pam Ortega at the OU Nightly Update Desk with the latest. The State Board of Education voted unanimously to certify the latest school report card, but said the A to F system needs to be changed. Anadarko police arrested more than a dozen people on charges of selling methamphetamine. And the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigations believes a body found near Tribly may be that of a missing Norman man. The state medical examiner is investigating. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Pam. There's a new resident on Sesame Street. Everyone, meet Julia. She has orange hair, green eyes, and autism. This is part of an initiative meant to reduce the stigma associated with the disorder. In the show, for example, Elmo explains that Julia does things a little differently, and he even talks to her using fewer words and repeats himself. The Sesame Street Workshop is providing books for kids, parents, and teachers, as well as online tools and even an app to show children how to interact with those affected with autism.
What a great initiative to finally, bring in that diversity so kids at a younger age can finally start understanding, as they grow up. So
I agree. I totally agree.
Awesome. And let's have another look at that evening.
Yeah, real quick, looking at the evening planners, 72 for 7 p.m., rain throughout the night, 67 by 12 a.m. So it's looking a little rainy outside.
Well, thank you so much for watching OU Nightly.
Have a great homecoming weekend.
Stay dry.
Good night.